In a distant galaxy, where the hum of interstellar travel echoed through vast space lanes, an alien species known as the Lyra had once been the epitome of strength. Their reputation was forged through decades of conquest, where they had mercilessly wiped out any opposition. But when their most advanced fleet was obliterated in a cataclysmic event, the Lyra faced their most significant test yet: survival. Among them was a young Lyra girl named Shara. She was an outcast, a survivor of the Lyra's disastrous battle against the human race. Most of her species had abandoned her after the devastating defeat, viewing her as a symbol of their failure. Alone and helpless, she wandered through the ruins of a destroyed alien ship, abandoned on a desolate moon, her survival instincts barely keeping her alive. Her once proud species had cast her aside, believing she was a weakling, nothing more than a burden. Yet, despite her alien origins, there was something different about Shara, something unique that would alter the fate of an entire planet. The universe had a cruel way of punishing the vulnerable, but on Earth, in the uncharted wilds of its uninhabited forests, something more unexpected awaited. Here, amidst the human race, a species considered primitive by galactic standards, Shara would find refuge. On Earth, in the thick, untamed forests of a secluded wilderness, a group of humans were on a routine survival mission. Known for their brutal efficiency and relentless nature, humans were often perceived as dangerous, carnivorous creatures by many intergalactic species. Their primitive methods of hunting and their insatiable appetite for victory in both war and survival had earned them an infamous reputation among the galactic community. Yet, when the humans came across Shara, they saw something else entirely. The alien girl lay unconscious on the cold ground, her slender form trembling from the harsh conditions of the forest. Her teal skin and glowing silver eyes made her stand out in stark contrast to the earthy greens and browns surrounding her. At first, the humans regarded her with suspicion. Their survival instincts told them to be cautious. An alien in their midst could be dangerous. But as they approached her, they saw no weapon, no malicious intent. Instead, what they saw was a broken, terrified creature. So unlike the powerful Lyra they had faced in battle, the Lyra were known for their towering presence, their ruthless tactics, and their advanced technology. But Shara, in her state of vulnerability, was a far cry from the Lyra warriors who had once terrified the human race. One of the humans, a grizzled veteran named Marcus, knelt beside her. His eyes flickered with something he hadn't expected to feel: compassion. Though trained to view any alien as an enemy, there was something about this girl that tugged at his humanity. "She's not like them," he muttered under his breath, gazing at the injured girl. His team, initially wary, soon agreed. They debated for a moment, weighing the risks, but the decision was made. They would help her. Days passed as Shara slowly regained her strength under the humans' care. They fed her, clothed her, and built her shelter. With each passing day, Shara's perception of these so-called carnivorous humans shifted. Their hands, calloused from a lifetime of survival, were not weapons but tools of protection. She had been abandoned by her own kind, discarded as weak and insignificant. Yet these humans, whom her species had written off as primitive and barbaric, had saved her life without asking for anything in return. Despite her confusion and fear, she began to trust them. Marcus, too, found himself questioning the way the universe had labeled the human race. The Lyra had considered humans nothing more than prey, an insignificant species unworthy of their time. Yet in this moment, among the survivors of the human expedition, there was no desire to conquer, only to protect. There was a humanity in them that transcended the battlefield, a quality Shara had never experienced in her own kind. As the days turned into weeks, Shara learned more about the humans. She learned of their history, of their wars, their triumphs, and their failures. She learned of their boundless determination to survive and protect one another. Most surprisingly, she discovered the depth of their compassion. Shara's physical strength, once unmatched among the Lyra, was slowly returning. But it was the bond she shared with these humans that began to fuel a new strength within her. She no longer felt abandoned. She no longer felt helpless. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky in hues of purple and orange, Shara stood beside Marcus, gazing at the stars. They spoke little that there was an understanding between them. She'd have learned that the humans were not merely carnivores, driven by bloodlust. They were survivors, yes, but they were also capable of kindness, of empathy, and of courage. Thank you, Shara finally spoke, her voice soft but sincere. Marcus smiled, his grizzled face softening in a way that most of the galaxy would never have believed possible. We look out for each other. That's what we do. Shara's new life with the humans wasn't without challenges. She struggled to understand their complex ways, their emotions, and their deep-rooted need for connection. But one thing became increasingly clear to her. Humanity was not as the Lyra had painted them. They were far more than their appetite for survival. They were capable of love, of loyalty, of sacrifice. In time, Shara realized that her true strength lay not in the powers of her Lyra heritage, but in the bonds she formed with those who had been cast aside as nothing more than carnivorous beasts. It was the humans who had shown her what it meant to truly survive, to adapt, and to protect others, even when it seemed like the entire universe had turned its back on them. And in return, Shara vowed to protect them, her new family, her new tribe. The so-called carnivorous humans had shown her a side of life she never thought possible. In their eyes, she wasn't a helpless alien. She was one of them. End.